أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا صلى الله عليه وآله عبده ورسوله. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum to you dear viewers. You are watching Friends of God in His Presence, a program on the commentary of Ziyarat al-Jami'a al-Kabira of Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam, written by Ayatollah Javadi Amoli in Farsi language known as Adab-e Fana-e Muqarraban. Before getting to the main discussions for today's program, we will listen and watch the clip, a short video clip of Ayatollah Javadi Amoli along with the English translation, and then we'll continue our discussion.
فرمودن به خزان العلم، شما مخزن علم الهی هستید، نه تنها اون چرا که باید بدانید میدانید، نه تنها خیلی از چیزها را شما میدانید که دیگران نمیدانند، بلکه مخزنی. در بعضی از روایات ائمه علیهم السلام فرمودند حدیث ما و سخنان ما بسیار دشوار است. انبیا، فرشته ها و انسان‌هایی که قلبشون مستحکم است و محفوظ است، اونها تحمل نمی‌کنند. به امام عرض کردن این چه علمی است که انبیا نمی‌فهمند، ملائکه نمی‌فهمند و مؤمن‌های وارسته نمی‌فهمند و شما می‌فهمید. فرمود منظور آن است که ما مخزنیم، اونها مجرا هستند. فرق مخزن و مجرا آن است ممکن است یک مطلب را دو نفر بشنوند یا یک مطلب را دو نفر بفهمند، ولی یکی مجراست و دیگری مخزن است. اون که ظرفیتش کم است نمیتواند این راز را حفظ بکند، یا می نویسد یا می گوید، برای خود مشکل ایجاد می کند، برای دیگران دردسر فراهم می کند. کاسه منصور خالی بود پر آوازه گشت، ورنه در میخانه وحدت کسی هوشیار نیست. اگر منصوری بود و گفت انا الحق، برای اینکه یک مقداری فهمید و نتوانست حفظ بکند، مجرا بود نه مخزن. اگر کسی مخزن باشد کتوم خواهد بود، حفظ می کند، هم خود را حفظ می کند هم دیگران را حفظ می کند. وجود مبارک امام صادق فرمود انبیا میفهمند اما نمیتوانند ضبط بکنند. البته اولوالعزم از انبیا مستثنایند. فرشتگان میفهمند ولی نمیتوانند نگه بدارند. مؤمنین خالص میفهمند ولی نمیتوانند حفظ بکنند. اون که به میخانه رفت و بیدار نبود، او میتواند مخزن باشد. لذا گذشته از این که درباره ائمه علیهم السلام گفته می شود که شما اصول کرم را دارید، فرشته ها می آیند پیش شما علوم را یاد می گیرند، محبت وحی هستید، به اونها گفته می شود شما مخزن علمی، نه عالمید. فقط اون چرا که باید بگویید میگویید، اون چرا هم که نباید بگویید نمیگویید. در این زیارت جامعه 5 بار به اهل بیت عصمت و طهارت سلام عرض میکنیم. السلام علیکم یا اهل بیت النبوه، تا به اینجا که عرض شد عناصر الابرار ارکان البلاد ساست العباد و دعائم الاخیار را مانند. قسمت دیگر سلامی است که السلام علی محال معرفت الله. بخش مهم این زیارت جامعه به رهبری اینها برمیگردد. مسئله قیادت، مسئله ساسه بودن در این تعبیرات کم نیست. ساسه یعنی سیاستمداران، سائس یعنی کسی که بتواند خوب یک گروهی را اداره کند. در این زیارت جامعه به اهل بیت علیهم السلام عرض بکنیم شما سیاستمداران امتی و ساست العباد، شمایید که مردم را از راه صحیح اداره میکنید. هر جا رهبری معصوم شکل گرفت، بیگانه ها ناچار شدن صحنه را رها کنند. الان هر جا سخن از قیام هست در سایه تعلیم انبیای الهی است. همون شما ساسه عبادی، سیاست مداران بندگان خدایی و وجود مبارک موسی کلیم اولین حرفش با درباریان فرعون این بود ان عدوا الی عباد الله، یعنی من امین خدا یک، جامعه انسانی امانت خداست دو، امانت را باید به امین سپرد. فرمود ما آمدیم که مردم را هدایت کنیم. مسئله آب و خاک فرع هدایت انسانی است. اگر یه انسانی احساس استقلال کرد از میهنش دفاع میکند، از آب و خاک دفاع میکند، از معدن دفاع میکند. وقتی هویت یافت، حرف موسی کلیم این نبود که چرا معادن مردم محروم اجاب اونها نمیدی. حرف موسی کلیم اولین سخنش این بود ان عدوا الی عباد الله، مردم را به من بده، ادا بکن، یعنی امانت الهی را تأدیه بکن. وقتی امانت الهی تأدیه شد اونگاه طولی نکشید که پیروان موسی کلیم به رهبری موسی کلیم مقاومت کردند، به فراعنه به طعمه دریا شدن مبتلا شدن که اینها را دریا به کام خود فرو برد. فغشیهم من الجمیع ما غشیهم. این اساره اون فصل اول به بخش اول که اولین سلام است. اما بخش دوم از اینجا شروع می شود. السلام علی محال معرفت الله. در بعضی از نسخ به جای محال محل است، یعنی جمع نیست، مفرد است. چطور اهل بیت جمعن و این وصفی که برای اونها یاد می شود مفرد است؟ چون در بعضی از تعبیرات آمده است که اینها یک نورن، در اون عالم یک واقعیت و یک نور بودن. چون یک نورن از اونها به عنوان محل تعبیر شده است. و در این نشأه چون اینها زیادن 14 معصوم علیهم الصلات و علیهم السلام به محال تعبیر شده است. بر تقدیر اینها محل معرفتن، یعنی اگر کسی باید خدا را بشناسد بهترین راه هدایت های خود اینهاست. خود اینها بهترین کسی هستند که خدا را میشناسند و اینها را هم به برکت تعلیمات خدا در قرآن کریم میتوان شناخت که خداوند اینها را خوب معرفی کرد. و جعلناهم ائمة یهدون بامرنا لما صبروا. مزایای انسان کامل را، خصوصیت های خلافت و رهبری را در قرآن مشخص کرد. به برکت معرفی های قرآن کریم انسان اهل بیت عصمت و طهارت علیهم السلام را میشناسد. هم خدا به وسیله اینها شناخته می شود، هم خدا معرفی اینها را در قرآن به عهده گرفت که اینها با معرفی خدا شناخته می شوند. و هم تنها کسی که خدا را اونطوری که باید بشناسد در حد امکان خود ائمه و معصومین علیهم الصلات و علیهم السلام. اون مقداری که مقدور کسی نیست که خارج از بحث است، اون مقداری که مقدور هست ائمه میشناسد.
Welcome back, dear viewers. You are watching Friends of God in His Presence. I'm Ata, the host of this program. And for today's discussion, we have a very respected guest speaker, Dr. Shaykh Jahangiri. Shaykh Jahangiri, assalamu alaikum and welcome to the show.
Alaikum assalam, dear brother Ata. Thank you for the opportunity. Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. Thank you for watching us.
So, when we get into the details of the very text of Ziyarat al-Jami'a al-Kabira, we can find really beautiful attributes enumerated for the imams or the concept of imamat in general as issued and addressed by Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam. Ayatollah Javadi Amoli in his beautiful book Adab-e Fana-e Muqarraban in Farsi language also we can say has written a commentary or a sharh on different parts of this Ziyarah text. One of the main attributes which is enumerated for the imams in this text of the Ziyarah is in Arabic as khuzan al-ilm, which means the hoarders or the keepers of knowledge. You know, the concept of ilm and those people who have ilm and are alim in fact is really a very beautiful concept. First of all, we have to define the concept of ilm and how an infallible imam or the Shiite imam can be considered as this hoarder, or it's better to say we can say, keeper of ilm? How do you define it?
Actually, today the ilm is what we understand today in modern age we all live in. The ilm is understood as the science.
Yes.
Whenever we say there is who has a science, ilm means who has science about something.
That's right.
But in many of the ilm is more wider than the science. Maybe science. By science we mean just having experimental and positivist approach to in our methodology of our studies, but by ilm we mean different method of getting deep of the creature and understanding of the reality of the world.
So it's better to say it is type of knowledge rather than science.
Very true.
Okay.
So by ilm here we never mean the science, we mean the knowledge. Very wider meaning of the actually meaning than the science. When we say the Ahlul Bayt are keepers and holders of the knowledge, it means that what human being was in need of that, it was by presence in their heart.
That's right.
What human being was in need of their guidance, they were aware of the solutions and the answers. So by that we understand that how they were the gate of knowledge. You know, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said that I am the city of the knowledge, and Ali alayhi salam is the gate of that. Ahsantum.
Right.
When you want to enter to the city of the science, you have to go through the gate.
Yes.
During history, many enemy of Islam, many enemy of the Ahlul Bayt tried to examine the Ahlul Bayt in a way that to prove that they have no knowledge about everything. One of them was Imam Jawadi alayhi salam. Imam Jawadi, you know, he was very child,
young when that's right.
And on that time the Abbasid Caliph brought many scholars from other religions to combat actually them with Imam al-Jawad alayhi salam. By in the conclusion of the debate and discussion, all of them announced that he is the very knowledgeable person, and he is actually the one Allah who has appointed him as the Imam of the society and the community. Let's come to the Imam as-Sadiq alayhi salam. You know, the Imams of the Sunni madhab as the Abu Hanifa and Imam Shafi and the others, also Ibn Malik, they didn't accept the beliefs of Imam as-Sadiq alayhi salam. By the way, they were joining to the actually teaching class of the Imam as-Sadiq alayhi salam to learn from him.
That's right.
So all of these stories show that they were the gate of knowledge. They had the knowledge. So we will discuss that what kind of knowledge they had. But by the way, we know that they were the gate of knowledge. They had the knowledge, and many were referring to their knowledge to get the answer. Let's talk about the Imam Ali alayhi salam as well. The second caliph in many issues.
Yes.
He was referring to Imam Ali alayhi salam to get the answer, and he was proclaiming very obviously that if there was no Ali, I would get many problems in the governing the society. So,
Saluni qabla an tafqaduni, you know, before you miss me, before you lose me, ask me any type of question you have. This shows that this is a big claim. That if you got any question, you ask me and I answer you. And these questions, of course, came to the Imam on different angles, whether on the physical world or the spiritual world. And Imam gave them really fruitful
very
answers.
detailed answers.
Detailed answers, yes. Another good example is really, which is shining in the history of the Shia walls, are the dialogues of Imam al-Rida alayhi salam when he was in the courtyard of Ma'mun with different, we can say, religious denominations and Christianity and Judaism. and answering their questions based on their own books, with their own languages. And this is really fascinating.
We have this about other imams
Yes,
as well.
Yes.
They were not only they were referring to their sources, but also they were answering based on their language.
That's right.
Here, language never means that they were answering in their non-Arabic language.
Okay.
Actually, it means that they were answering based on their hermeneutic,
That's
their
right.
understanding method of their religiosity.
That's right.
And all of the enemies of Ahlul Bayt during the history, they obviously announced that the truth is with the Ahlul Bayt, and they are the gate of the knowledge.
That's all right. Thank you very much, Sheikh Jahangiri. It was very kind of you for the first section of this episode of the program. And thank you very much, dear viewers, for watching Friends of God in His Presence. I'm Ata, the host of this program. We'll take a break. I'm back in a minute.
وموضع الرسالة ومختلف الملائكة ومهبة الوحي ومعدن الرحمة وخزان العلم ومنتهى الهدى.
Welcome back, dear viewers. You are watching Friends of God in His Presence, a commentary on Ziyarat al-Jami'a al-Kabira, based on a Farsi book written by Ayatollah Javadi Amoli known as Adab-e Fana-e Muqarraban. I have a very respected guest speaker for today's discussion, Dr. Sheikh Jahangiri. Okay, Sheikh, we're welcome back again to the program, and thank you very much for accepting my invitation to the program. So we are talking about this attribute of the Imams as Khuzan al-Ilm, the keepers or the hoarders of the knowledge. And we said that this type of ilm that the Imams have is mostly of a type of the ma'rifah type or the knowledge type rather than the science one. So when we really talk about the ilm of the A'imma, what do we mean exactly? Does it include the physical ilm, the spiritual one, the metaphysical one? Is it a type of the knowledge that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has over its creatures? What type of knowledge is that exactly?
Actually, when we say that they have the knowledge khuzanul ilm, it means that they had the wider and deeper actually version of the knowledge. So nothing was actually hidden for them, and they were not in negligence of anything based on being a khuzanul ilm. So but it never means that, for example, someone would ask that, do Imam alayhi salam be aware of the science of physics? Do Imams were aware of the science of the psychology or something like that? Actually, they shared some of their knowledge regarding to the actually curing your heals, and also training your family, and about the astronomy and everything in the in this world. For regarding every science, as we call today a science,
yes,
they unveiled some of the truth regarding these kind of sciences.
Okay.
But they never been as a scientist. They
yes,
never been as an astronomist. Actually, they were the leader of the society. They were the imam of the community.
Yes.
So
they were mostly in Masnad al-Hidayah. I mean, the position or the stance of giving guidance to the people,
to enlightening the society. If they were referring somehow to these kind of sciences, just it was to purpose beyond that, to show that we know them. But our purpose is not so.
yes,
We are not scientists. But we don't think that we are unaware of that. We are in negligence of that.
or unable
And
to
second,
answer. Okay.
second, they were using this to guide the society, to lead the society in a way that they were talking about astronomy to actually make their enemies silent. They were talking about, for example, curing your heels in a way that to teach to their ummah that we know them. but our purpose is not so. That's why when we say about the nature of the science of Ahlul Bayt, we have to say that their nature of knowledge and ma'rifah is more wider and deeper.
This ma'rifah is important.
Yes.
I mean, this knowledge and the ma'rifah, which comes from knowing, is important. It is, I think, it is a very precious concept, which is in a status very much higher than the type of the ilm, the physical, materialistic ilm that we are talking in today as well. That's all right. That is usually coming from the soul rather than the body.
And also, for example, they were talking about the future. Actually, it was not a kind of predicting the future.
No.
It was based on their ma'rifah and knowledge. Yes. They were knowing that what would be in the future. For example,
knowledge of the unseen, they called it.
Very true. Right. For example, some of the Shia revolutionist group, they came to the Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam and also to the Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam, asking him his support. They said that we are standing with you, but Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam didn't support him. Why? He had knowledge about the destiny of this kind of revolutionary activity. So it shows that their knowledge, the nature of their knowledge, is not limited to a short period of the history. They were aware of very beginning of the history. They were talking about the alam al-zar,
yes,
about the story of Adam and Hawa, and also about the future, about the alam al-duhur, the end of the time. Regarding to the time, you see how wider time they were talking, and also they were talking about different issues and different angles of the life of the human being, from astronomy, from the soul,
yes, from
the animals, and everything about that. But and I would like to highlight here, Brother Atta, still we didn't get the very depth knowledge of the Ahlul Bayt, and yes, day by day they would be unveiled. You know that it is almost 14th century.
Yes.
The great scholars like Allah, like Ayatollah Javadi Amoli, that great scholars, they are spending their life just to unveil a very short veil from their teachings. So it shows that how depth is their knowledge. That's why we have to call them
it's an ocean. Yes, Khuzanul Ilm, an ocean of the knowledge which is still undiscovered to so many people around the world. And the sad news is that they were not given the right at their own times in order to be at the, we can say, throne or the stance of the guidance and the hidayah for the people, unfortunately.
Let me add one more point. Still, their position of knowledge is hidden even for the Ummah. Yes. And that's why still people are not able to receive the Imam al-Zaman alayhi salam. Actually, his occultation is not from his side, it is from our side. We are not able to receive his knowledge. Yeah, and you know that maybe we will discuss that how knowledge would be unveiled by the presence of the Imam al-Zaman alayhi salam. And on that time, just today we are talking, on that time, the human being will see that how they are, the Khuzanul Ilm, yes, and how knowledge are kept there.
That's right. When you take a look at just the sayings of the Ahlul Bayt regarding the hadith studies, also the text of the ziyarahs and the du'as that they have, the sermons and the letters that Imam Ali alayhi salam, which is compiled in Sayyid al-Razi's book as Nahjul Balagha, you can find how deep some of them are that still no scholar can understand or can discover the true meaning and the layers of the meaning of these sermons, letters, and ahadith. And sometimes when I myself, for example, read out the dua of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam on the day of Arafah, he is talking about sometimes the most physical, how, for example, a human being is born, how the quality of being, born is given, or how the shape of the human being. Is it so?
Yes. And also, I would like here, you refer to the dua of Imam Ali alayhi salam and Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. Brother Atta, their teachings is not limited to a community or religious community.
Very good.
Sometimes we think that because they are imam, only their teaching is limited to a religiosity era. But their teachings today, many non-Muslims, they are studying on their teaching.
Yes.
And some of their supplications
Very good.
today are recited even in the churches.
That's right.
Because they know that it is full of light.
Yes.
Even they don't believe him as imam, but they know that they are the khuzanul ilm. They have the knowledge. Knowledge is there.
That's right. Thank you very much, Sheikh Jahangiri. It was very kind of you. Let's take our second break and then we'll be back in a minute. Dear viewers, you are watching Friends of God in His Presence. I'm Ata, the host of this program. We'll take a break. I'm back in a minute.
وموضع الرسالة ومختلف الملائكة ومهبة الوحي ومعدن الرحمة وخزان العلم ومنتهى الهدى.
Welcome back, dear viewers. You are watching Friends of God in His Presence, a commentary on Ziyarah al-Jami'a al-Kabira, based on a book written by Ayatollah Javadi Amoli, Adab-e Fana-e Muqarraban. Sheikh Jahangiri, welcome back again to the program.
Thank you.
Okay, I've got so many questions and doubts regarding the ilm of the infallible imams, which is really a really good topic to discuss. One of the major questions is that we got some of the incidents or events which took place in the life of the infallibles, which if we believe that their type of knowledge is a type of knowledge that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has, they were so easy to be forbidden, to be stopped, or to be escaped. For example, what took place in 61 AH to Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. He's got this type of divine knowledge, and for sure he knew that what would be happening to him in the desert of Karbala. Such incidents and the other incidents, for example, that they would be martyred, so to stop them, they've got the knowledge of the unseen, makes a big question for us and doubt for us that why the Imams did not use such type of knowledge to stop such incidents in their lives.
Actually, when we say that they had the wide knowledge of the, actually not only their own life, but also the life of all humanity, and also the life of all universe, it never means that, it means that they even know what will happen to them. They knew that.
Okay.
But Ayatollah Javadi Amoli explains here that when we call them, they are khuzanul ilm, it never means that they had knowledge independently. Actually, they were receiving knowledge from the Allah the Almighty, because all knowledge is there. He is the creator of the creature. He knows the hidden and obvious side of the creature. He knows the previous and the future of the creature. He knows everything.
Yes.
And if Ahlul Bayt were telling something about the previous part of the anything, or about the future of everything, or they were talking about the inner side of something or external side of anything, they were getting knowledge from Allah.
Yes.
If they were saying anything and they were exposing everything, they knew that they were problem of some people would say that they are the Lord. They know everything. Allah is al-alam, all-knowing, and they know everything. There would be something in this way, in a way that to keep the people to be to not fall in the deviation and exaggeration. You know that due to this great knowledge of Ahlul Bayt, some people thought that exaggerated about their position and thought that they are the Lord.
Allah to me.
Yes, Ghulat from the
Ghulat.
Muslim Ummah, some of them, they thought that they are the, you see, they couldn't tolerate, even today, let's go back to the history.
Yes.
The knowledge was very simple. When Imam Ali was asking them, please ask me, I will answer any question of you. And he was able, and he did answer to their question. You see, the simple people would guess that He is the Lord.
Okay.
And in some cases,
They ask simple questions.
yes.
For example, how many hairs do I have in my head? Okay.
You see, any question is being answered. That some people would guess that He is the Lord, He is the Creator,
Okay.
He knows everything, He is all-knowing. In this case, Ahlul Bayt, in some of the cases, they were not exposing their knowledge. They were living as an ordinary people.
Yes.
In a way that, oh people, we know everything.
Okay.
We are the gate of knowledge. But don't think that we are the Lord. All knowledge we have, it is by the grace of the Allah, the Almighty. By this, they were teaching to the people, oh people, if you approach us, you will get this knowledge as well.
That's right.
So they were training humanity, not only to showing them that we are a great person.
Yes.
By this kind of actually being ordinary people, showing that we are ordinary people, they taught to humanity that, oh human being, if you approach to the Lord, knowledge is there, science is there, and don't exaggerate us. Second, Ayatollah Javadi Amoli explains that in some cases they didn't expose their knowledge because knowledge is there. They were not they weren't independently full of knowledge.
Yes.
That's why in some cases they had potential of getting the knowledge, but in some cases they didn't.
Yes.
It never reduced their position, but shows that they were human beings, but in a higher position of getting the knowledge. I think these two answer and explanation by Ayatollah Javadi Amoli shows that how being Khuzanul Ilm teaches us we can approach to the Ahlul Bayt and we can get a share of knowledge from them as well.
We know that Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam, at the very beginning, before reciting this text of the Ziyarah, has ordered, the people and the reciters to say 100 times Allahu Akbar, Allah is the most great, to make the reader and the reciters of this Ziyarah think that we are not the Lord, we are only the abds, the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on earth. We can say, and these attributes that we are enumerating for the Imams have roots in the divinity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so do not exaggerate about us.
And Ahlul Bayt,
yes,
due to that, in their actually secret meeting, they were exposing some of the teachings, but they didn't expose to in public meetings in a way that they were afraid of the community. They were afraid of the community.
Right.
Let me say something. The Sahifa of the Hadrat Zahra Salamullah alayha, it is in the hand of infallible Imams. They didn't actually made it public.
The Mus'haf you mean?
Yes, the Mus'haf of Hadrat Zahra Salamullah alayha. It is not in the hand of the public people because they were knowledge there. Maybe human being could not tolerate it. And maybe if ordinary people could reach of that, they would tell some exaggeration about the Hadrat Zahra Salamullah alayha. So you see that still human being is suffering from the knowledge. He is not able to get the reach, the level of teaching of the Ahlul Bayt. That's why they deserve to be called as Khuzanul Ilm.
That's all right. Okay, thank you very much, Shaykh. It was very kind of you. Still, we got one more section out of this episode of the program. Thank you very much till now. It was kind of you. And thank you very much, dear viewers, for watching Friends of God in His Presence. We'll take a break. I'm back in a minute.
فمهبت الوحي ومعدن الرحمن وخزان العلم ومنتهى الهدى.
Welcome back, dear viewers, and assalamu alaikum again to you. You are watching Friends of God in His Presence. I'm Mata, the host of this program. In this episode, we are talking about a tribute written in Ziyarat al-Jami'a al-Kabira by Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam about the infallible Imams, titled as Khuzan al-Ilm, or the hoarders of knowledge. Okay, Shaykh, welcome back again to the program. So now we are passing live in the Ghaibat al-Kubra, I mean the major occultation of Imam al-Mahdi Ajalallah. The type of the knowledge that Imam has might be very much different from the type of the knowledge that we as ordinary people have. My first question is this. Can we reach to a level as ordinary human being to at least benefit from the knowledge of the Imam straightly and directly? This is my first question.
Why not? Actually, during the presence of the A'immas, it was almost 2 centuries, 200 years.
Yes.
Human beings, they actually got benefit of their knowledge. And today what we have in our sources as the ahadith and the sunnah of the Ahlul Bayt, they are the knowledge. Many scholars like Ayatollah Javadi Amoli today, if he is able to actually explain the book, the ziara of jamia kebira, he is able to do it based on relying on the hadiths he received there. So this knowledge actually we received during 2 centuries, and by the major occultation, the ulama tried to explain Ahlul Bayt's teaching.
That's right.
Still, we are waiting to the time of the appearance. Maybe on that time we will get more. Not maybe, sure, we will get many knowledge on by the presence of the Imam ad-Daman alayhi salam. By the way, even in the time of occultation, human beings are getting knowledge, but this knowledge is indirect in a way that the source is there. And the ulama who are the successor of the Imam ad-Daman alayhi salam, they are explaining, unveiling the truth of the Ahlul Bayt. And for example, before the Ayatollah Javadi Amoli, maybe we were not aware of these great teaching in Ziyarah, jamia, kebira. But today we got it. Day by day, their truth are being discovered to the humanity. So by indirect way, we are getting knowledge from them.
And the type of, you know that we have so many scientific developments today in the world. Something that if it was shown, for example, to a person 1,000 years ago, who will be shocked. One typical question that the people might ask is that, does the Imam, for example, Imam al-Asr nowadays living in major occultation, has the knowledge of all these technical, industrial, economic, engineering developments? Does it have?
We discussed in the previous session that Imam is not an engineering person, but he has the knowledge of that. He is not a scientist, but he has the knowledge of that. That's why during their presence, they exposed just a portion of that to show that we have the knowledge of that. In the session you mentioned, Imam Ali alayhi salam, the man asked about his hairs.
Yes.
Imam alayhi salam, Imam answered him. Imam said that I know this, but my knowledge is not about that. My level of my knowledge is more higher than this.
Yes.
My knowledge is leading your sciences. My knowledge is not next to your sciences to say that Imam has this science and these people has this science as well. Our knowledge is above your sciences. Our knowledge is leading your sciences. Is a kind of, as Ayatollah Javadi Amoli says, that it is a kind of torch leading the sciences to go where to go. So Imam alayhi salam has the knowledge of everything, as much as the knowledge is being developed. Maybe actually after 100 years after 100 years in the future, the world will be changed. But Imam has the knowledge of that.
And we know that during the history, even in the physical world and the materialistic world, we got the golden age of the Islamic science. Most of the outstanding scientists who were the pioneers on the fields of materialistic experimental sciences were Muslims. We can name Al-Hazan, Averroes, Avicenna, Ibn al-Mas'udi, al-Kabira, al-Khwarizmi, okay? So all these great men, al-Mas'udi, you know, and different scholars on different fields of studies. For example, what Al-Hazan or Ibn al-Haytham did on the field of optics, you know, is really fascinating. What, for example, Avicenna, Ibn Sina did on the medicine.
And many Western authors, they obviously they wrote about the fascinating development of the Islamic civilization.
That's right.
Yes, in this era. But still, what Ahlul Bayt taught us and the knowledge they have, that we saw in our history, that is nothing to be compared to their knowledge.
That's right.
Still we are reading their knowledge at the time of the appearance of the Imam Ad-Daman alayhi salam.
Because the knowledge of the body is different from the knowledge of the soul, and the soul is a world unknown to many of us.
Let me just say a hadith narrated from the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. Just as much as human beings are developed, still it is not the end of the development of the sciences. Still it is being developed. As much as the knowledge is being developed, it is the 2 of the 27th of the knowledge of the Allah the Almighty. And the rest, which is 25th of that, it is left. And it is in the hand of the Imam Ad-Daman alayhi salam. By his appearance, the knowledge would be discovered to the human being. And on that time, people will know that how they were living in ignorance, how they were living in negligence. According to the hadith, Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam will develop the mind of human being in a way that human being would be able to know everything.
That's right.
You see, it is not only by magic. The knowledge would be discovered to the humanity. Let me add this point as well, because we discussed regarding to the Sahifa or Mus'haf of the Hadrat Zahra Salamullah alayha. It is not discovered yet because human being still is not able to understand that. It is in the hand of Imam Ad-Daman alayhi salam. On that time, the knowledge, the mind, the comprehension of the human being would be developed.
That's right.
At that time, they are able to understand. They are able to receive the Imam Ad-Daman alayhi salam. Maybe one of the reasons of the occultation is that still human being is suffering of the ability of getting the knowledge.
That's right. And we know that in today's world, for example, when a child is born and when he or she starts his official education, you know, at a school or the university, all of a sudden the whole soul and the body of that very person is inclined into the materialism. And in today's world in which secularism is ruling, so many people do not pursue the type of spiritual knowledge which will be useful for their souls. Rather, they are looking for the materialistic worlds which can answer their physical bodily needs.
So today we can say that how poor people are human beings today and during the history.
Yes.
Brother, why in our hadiths we are asked to pray in the hasten of Imam Ad-Daman alayhi salam. It is not only a comment of a person actually. It is a change of an era. It is common of it is actually arrival of and common of a different world.
That's right.
That's why each human being has to have wish of being there, because the time of arrival of Imam Ad-Daman alayhi salam is the time of knowledge, is the time of truthness. It is not the time of negligence. It is not the time of being veiled from the truth and knowledge. That's why we have wish to that. It is not wish just only to a person. It is to the kingdom. It is an era.
Okay.
You see how they are, the Khuzanul Ilm, how knowledges are kept there. Still, it is out of our hand.
The late Imam Khomeini has said that sometimes the ilm that the scholar have might be as a hijab or veil in front of your eyes and stopping you from reaching the true knowledge that you were created for as a human being. So this sentence of the late Imam Khomeini shows that do not let your knowledge or the science you are pursuing act as a hijab in front of your eyes or ways.
Sometimes some of the knowledge we have, maybe they are hijab. You know, during the history, many people, they thought that they had that kind of theories by the Copernic. Many of the theories of the astronomy has been changed.
Yes.
And during the history, you see many theories of the physics, chemics have been changed.
Yes.
It is a kind of veil. But the truth and the true knowledge is in the hand of and the heart of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam.
Inshallah, we are giving the tawfiq to reach the ilm al-haqiqi.
Ya Rabb,
I mean, the true knowledge. And inshallah, we are given this type of ma'rifah of knowing ourselves, self-recognition, and the recognition of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shaykh. It was very kind of you. I
Jazakallah.
really enjoyed talking to you in the program.
My pleasure.
Yes, Friends of God in His Presence. It was very kind of you. And thank you very much, dear viewers, for watching Friends of God in His Presence, based on a book written by Ayatollah Javadi Amoli known as Adab-e Fana-e Muqarraban, a commentary on Ziyarat al-Jami'a al-Kabira, which was originally written by Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam. Till another episode, God bless you all. Fi aman Allah.
وموضع الرسالة ومختلف الملائكة ومهبة الوحي ومعدن الرحمة وخزان العلم ومنتهى الهم